All right, a young conservative influencer joined the Trump team, and many people credit his efforts with helping secure the bro vote. The 18-year-old was asked to help the Trump campaign attract young voters and assisting getting him onto the president onto some notable podcasts. He's also known for being a good friend of Barron Trump's. Well, joining me now is Bo Loudon. And Bo, congratulations. You're getting lots of accolades, and I got to tell you, you deserve every single one of them.
Well, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, you know, it's a pleasure to even be here right now and have these kind of conversations. The fact that we swept America, you know, we have the biggest world leaders and celebrities lining up at Trump's feet just at a chance to kiss his ring. You know, it's hilarious. We have Justin Trudeau meeting at Mar-a-Lago to talk about plans. You know, we have Jeff Bezos coming in a week. We had Mark Zuckerberg, who was there. We had Mark Zuckerberg, who also just yesterday donated $1 million to Trump. So I think it's really funny to see all these things. We have even people like Bernie Sanders, you know, these lifelong Democrats. Bernie Sanders was saying he likes a lot of the ideas that Trump and RFK are proposing. Same thing with John Fetterman, who just joined True Social and has already been praising Trump on there and saying that Joe Biden should pardon him. So I think it's great that we're here, and there's so much hope for America right now.
Bo, I want you to take me through the process here. How did you and Barron concoct this scheme, this idea, to get the president on these podcasts like with, you know, Aiden Ross and Joe Rogan?
Well, you know, it wasn't too difficult because media and playing them like a fiddle is something Trump understands. President Trump has always understood this. That's why we have Kamala Harris out here spending she bragged about her $1 billion that she raised for her campaign, but you know, she goes out and spends it so dumb. Like she had the opportunity to go and film her Call Her Daddy podcast at the proper studio, but instead she spent $100,000 to build one in D.C. Like things like this, she was blowing money down the drain and ended up in debt. Trump didn't have to go and pay all these people to do podcasts with him or to do shows. And we knew this is something that the real eyes of America were on. They were on all these influencers that are trending in the media, that are interesting, that have something going for them. And that's why we wanted President Trump to get on these podcasts and these shows, because we knew it would draw the eyes of the American people.
I'm curious here, Bo, the podcast world, how did that work? How did it help President Trump win election and get that mandate?
Well, I think it let young people see a side of President Trump that the media was so heavily censoring. You know, they were constantly slandering his name in the media. And had Kamala Harris and Joe Biden just trashing him on their campaign trails. And that's the kind of thing they were blasting all over their TikToks, which is unfortunately in the eyes of many young people. And they never got to see a side of President Trump other than what the media was putting out. So when he goes and does these podcasts or these shows with these people that these young people really respect and look up to, like Joe Rogan, like Aiden Ross, when he does these shows, we get to see that side of him. And so that's how it really helped, is people got to know him as a person, see that he's not some evil tyrant or evil Nazi or whatever they wanted to paint him as. And it was great. It was a great opportunity, and I'm so glad that I was able to help with any of it and be a part of it. And I think it was very much needed. And it showed in the polls. You know, Joe Biden performing 11 points lower than Kamala Harris did with young people and stuff like that. So I mean, I think it's awesome, and I'm so glad to see it.
Well, no doubt. I mean, it worked. I mean, there are 18-year-olds, high school kids, and especially young men that really were attracted to the president and his message. But I got to tell you, Bo, when you look at the votes for Republicans in the House and the Senate, they're lucky they were able to pull off those majorities. What's the message here for House Republicans and Senate Republicans? What do they need to do to get the bro vote?
I think they got to start looking at where the eyes are. You know, young people, we're in a much different generation. You know, back then people would read books and they would get their information from the local paper and, you know, things like that, and it wasn't really biased, and people could go out, and that's how we would, you know, decide, or we would talk to our parents. And back then in America, we used to have a very strong family unit. I don't think we have that as much anymore. You know, kids are separated from the families, and their eyes are drawn to a screen. So, You know, that right now what they're trying to do is they're trying to get in the schools and corrupt the child's mind from the start, and then they put them into these colleges and brainwash them more there. That's the Democratic plan, is to take over our minds and corrupt a whole generation of people. So we have to play their game. We have to get on their social medias. We have to get in front of their faces. We have to stop the Democrats from putting satanic propaganda in schools. So things like that, that's what's going to help. And I think that's something that many people should start looking at. They can just copy Trump's plan and Trump's trail, you know, what he has done on it with his campaign, his campaign stunts that I even didn't have anything to do with, but I thought were genius, as things like McDonald's and the garbage man, you know, in the garbage truck, like stuff like that. It was genius. So things like that we can start looking at, and people will take back America. It'll be great.
All right, Bo Loudon, congratulations. Say hi to your mom for me.
Will do. I appreciate it.
All right. Great young patriot right there, and his mom is as well.